Hello everyone and welcome back to X4. Alright then, let me just get back into the cockpit and tell you what. What if we did one of the story missions? I have been meaning to do the one with the Borons because I want to unlock their sectors. So tell you what, all I'm going to do right now is go into the map and the mission offers and the alliance invitation. Now this will start a small little monologue from Numankaret, and while he's talking I will first tell my pilot to start moving towards Heretic's end. So this guy, can you please move here? Fly and wait. Oh, wait. First let's make sure remove all orders and assignment and then we can move. And we are off. And while he is talking, I will reorganize the Grand Exchange Station a little bit. Thankfully, we didn't get started on the construction. I just want to make sure it is exactly as I want it to be, and then we will do the mission. So, mission offers. While he's talking, I will tinker with the station.
I, Numankaret, welcome you in my capacity as commanding officer of this expedition. The Alliance of the Word is a collective of scholars and scientists intent on advancing understanding through cooperation. Word reached us from the Boron of Kingdom End some months ago via the messenger drone network. It seems they may be making some headway with their gate technology experimentation. At first, I will admit, dismiss the notion. So many scientists have tried and failed to interact with the gate network. But now, the dormant gate at Heretic's end is showing infrequent, but undeniable signs of activity. This may or may not be related to the Boron experiments, but the timings coincide too starkly to ignore. But let us not get ahead of ourselves. We could be reuniting with our Boron brethren. Equally, we could find ourselves welcoming a fleet of Xenon destroyers. This expedition was tasked with resolving the many unknowns of this situation. We need scouts willing to help us explore this unknown space.
Entering system. Silent witness.
Okay then, so this is the station reconfiguration that I wanted to do. Basically, I just wanted to push the silicon wafer production out into the same kind of spacing we had for the refined metal. So, we have a bit of a symmetry on the station. And also, I had decided to lower the amount of storages we have. I think 3 container and 3 solid storage is going to be enough. And the main reason I wanted to do this is to free up the space under the station, because, well, eventually I want to have habitation modules on this station, and, well, they are going to be vertical, and, having these spaces here is going to be great. And as it happens, we will need 6 small habitation modules, and that will be the perfect amount of people, so it works out basically perfectly. Okay, anyways, these will be demolished. Thankfully, we should reclaim all the materials that we have used to build them, so losing these is not really, a big deal. Okay then, so we can close this one. Where are we, by the way? We are in Heretic was choice. That's great. Also, what is this mission? Xenon military studies, destroy mines. I will accept this, and we will do this at some point. We already have 2 of these side missions already accepted. We will do them at some point, but not right now. So anyways, let me just re-enable mission manager and the alliance invitation. I want this to be the active mission. And you know what? I will re-enable the autopilot. Oh, never mind. We are not piloting, it is our pilot. All we need to do is, first let me select the ship, and instead of going here, can you please move there? Or you know what? Stop, I will take over. So remove this order and get out of my seat.
Vanguard. Autopilot. Engaged.
So I will see you once we arrive.
Entering system. Heretic's End.
How wonderful. You are here to deal with that sensor-distorting ship? Your much-anticipated arrival fills me with considerable relief and delight.
Not yet. By the way, this sensor sweep that you can see on the screen, that comes from that ship that is bothering Bosota. I will deal with that later. For now, let's just focus on the Boron mission. I don't think this would take a lot of time, but I don't want to get distracted. So, yeah. I do believe that we are going to have a small cutscene happening here once we arrive. But before we get there, let me just take a bit of money off the station account. Let's just put it into the construction account. And yeah, let's just keep on working the station, because right now we have demolished the solid storages. We need to re-enable them so the station can continue working. Anyways, we should get a cutscene any second now.
I'm delighted to see that everyone has made it. Explorer, please fall into formation to accommodate the remaining attendees.
So many ships! I cannot believe we are actually here, ready to witness something truly historic.
The Terran Secret Service has been alerted to potential gate activity. The Intervention Corps has been ordered to undertake a threat assessment with regard to the potential impact on Sol territories. We can only guarantee everyone's safety as long as the expedition remains close to the intervention fleet. However, we advise everyone to stay clear of our firing arcs.
Initial scans indicate some activity. We will need to get closer for a more thorough read on the situation. Mission Specialist, approach the gate nacelle and interface with it to initialize a direct data stream for our onboard science team.
Affirmative. Approaching the jump gate. Activating scanner. Accessing nacelle.
Data stream is initialized. It looks like... Fall back! The energy is slight.
Battle stations, prepare to engage. Nothing? Well then. Intervention Corps, prepare for traversal.
The expedition shall follow close behind. Mission Specialist, remain here and establish an outpost to derive a complete reading of the gate's coordinate data.
On it, sir. Godspeed, everyone.
There we go. By the way, I have done this mission once before, but only once, and it was right around the time that the DLC came out, so it has been a while. I may be a little bit rusty on this mission. So, anyways, let's fly through and let's see what we find. I do believe it's going to be a very big empty sector.
Entering system. Watchful gaze.
Preliminary scans indicate that this system is uninhabited. No sign of boron or any other kind of life, biological or artificial.
This cannot be true. Are you certain that the sensors are not malfunctioning? It has been so long. I really thought this might be the day I finally reconnect with my kin of the Fin.
Take heart, Boron Exile. You may yet be a step closer to your reunion. Explorer, we need some detailed system mapping. The task is in your hands. There is much to learn here.
Okay, so we need to explore a little bit, and well, once we find something interesting, I guess we will take a look at that thing, although I suppose it is going to be right there as far as I can tell. That looks like pretty much exactly what we are looking for. That thing, by the way, in case you didn't notice on the screen. A very small, very artificial looking something. Yeah, that is exactly what we are looking for.
Preliminary data has identified some points of potential interest. We are having trouble locking on to exact locations at this range. See if you can pinpoint them for us.
Oh my! Could that be?
By the Trinity, a Boron vessel.
My instinct says we should take a closer look. Assistant, I think you should suit up and investigate. Your ship's sensors are picking up a weak energy signature amongst the debris.
Discoverer, Vanguard.
See if you can repair the panel to gain access.
Derelict ship.
Okay, that panel is a little bit too far away. We need to get back into the ship
Vanguard.
and move a little bit closer. Can you please? There we go. So instead of here, it is right there. Yeah, I really should have stayed at the nose of the ship, and that will be okay. Maybe a little bit closer. Okay, where is the actual panel? Yeah, it's hidden in there. Okay, I think we can get out now.
Discoverer, Vanguard.
And I am super glad that I have bought the upgraded spacesuit thrusters now. So we are a little bit faster. Is this an automatic door? No. Oh, right, it's on the side. There we go.
Container.
Running decryption and reconstruction algorithm. The data is woefully incomplete, but it appears that this was an outpost of some manner. There are signs of an attack from several directions. It seems that the operators would have had little, if any, time to react. How frustratingly peculiar. I am forwarding all of this to our esteemed expedition commander. Perhaps he can garner more clues. I have my doubts, though.
Discoverer, Vanguard.
Sir? Newman Khaled, sir? Our team confirms that the Heretic's end gate does indeed contain the coordinates to the Kingdom End system. The timing cannot be coincidental, can it? Just after we received word from the Boron? Is it possible that their experiments were somehow related to the gate reinitialization?
Coordinates and timing are relevant, but not conclusive. The fact of the matter is that this is definitely not Kingdom End. Interstellar messenger drones are not the fastest form of communication. We do not know what has occurred on the Boron side since their last message. Theoretically, a connection between the two gates is possible, but that is just a theory. It could well be that the systems were linked in the distant past.
Yes. Unfortunately, a theoretical compatibility does not mean much in itself. If activating or reprogramming these gates were easy, I am certain I would have overcome the challenges long ago.
The split didn't exactly give you a choice over your research focus. Could this be the Boron? Could they really have unlocked jump gate technology?
Perhaps. Perhaps not. At this point, any further hypothesis would be mere speculation. Until we have more evidence, keep your ideas off general comms. If you must elaborate your theories, feel free to put them in writing.
Hold on. I think I am picking up. Oh no, never mind that. Nothing of interest here. This system's peculiar conditions make getting accurate readings rather troublesome.
Explorer, you have an unidentified ship on an intercept trajectory. This is our first contact in the newly opened network. We have no idea of who they are, or their intentions. Investigate, and if possible, make contact, but maintain vigilance.
Piranha.
Oh my! Aliens! Please, do not be afraid. I shall disengage my armament. Greetings. I am so pleased to make your acquaintance.
Incredible! Finally, contact with our aquatic allies. Bosota, are you receiving this?
One moment, please. I am just finishing up some calculations.
What did you say? A boron? Truly? A living, buoyant boron? Are my ocular sensor organs deceiving me? Allow me to introduce myself. I am Bosota, and I can barely recall another boron face. I have been driven from my people for that long. Will you please deign to share your time with me?
I am Mila T, adventurer extraordinaire. I would be delighted to spend time with you.
As appointed delegate of the Alliance of the Word, please allow me to extend my greetings to you and your people. It is an honor to make your acquaintance, Mila T.
I do not have any official capacity as such, but it is marvelous to be seeing actual people from beyond the disconnected gates. How did you get here? Has a gate reopened? Are we connected once more? Oh, I knew it would have to happen eventually. What joyous news!
Momentous news indeed. Although we are less than clear on how this has occurred. There was speculation that the Boron triggered the gate reinitialization. Messages from your scientists indicated that they were working on such a task. Please, can you direct us towards Kingdom End?
You were in contact with Kingdom End? That is marvelous news. It has been decades since we were cut off. We have heard nothing in all that time. The severing of the connection with Nishala has been indescribably distressing for all of us.
My system is in profound turmoil. To meet a fellow Boron after all these years is an incandescent joy. But to find that you, too, are cut off from the homeworld is a misery.
More than you know, Bosota. We have all mourned this loss.
But without access to Kingdom End, your Queen and Parliament. How do you govern yourselves?
After the severance, there was a period of chaos, until a royal steward was appointed. I have had dealings with him. It would be my pleasure to make an introduction.
We must make haste. There is much to be discussed with your leadership.
Follow me, you cavalcade of curious creatures.
A Boron society not headed by a queen? This is somewhat hard to fathom.
Indeed, Bo-Sotar. From your own experience, you understand the pain of separation. I doubt other species appreciate the biological depth of our harmonious societal interconnection. It was worse than it is now. It used to be that all our systems were isolated. Severed, not just from Kingdom End, the Queen and Homeworld Nishla, but also from each other. Fortunately, several of our systems reconnected to each other eventually, but none received word from home. Reorganization became a necessity. The provinces adrift, as we call ourselves, were only ever intended to be temporary, but under the Royal Steward, it has grown into a comprehensive governing body. But some of us have never given up on Kingdom End. Your communication with the homeworld is momentous in the extreme. Not a soul in these systems has found evidence of where the Kingdom End even still exists.
Okay, so I told my explorer ship to, do a little bit of extra exploring, but so we don't have to babysit it all the time. And let me see just how far we are with the construction. So zoom to the station, and right now we are building the metal production. Okay. Let me just take a look at the configuration. Ooh, we have made good progress, but I would like to have the solid storage is what I wanted to build first, but you know what? It's fine. It will be built eventually. Let me just put the energy cells on the bottom of the list. That is not the most important thing. And then, yeah, the silicon wafers can wait as well. Can you please just... No. Just move it a little bit. There we go. There, and put it back. Right, confirm these changes. So we have the solid storages being built next, and that is going to be it. Okay then, I think we can get back to the mission now. So we need to fly through here.
A Commonwealth ship. Surely this indicates that our reports are correct. The once dormant gate has indeed resumed its function and brought our province into alignment with our erstwhile allies. You must realize what this means. All the resources of the Commonwealth are now within reach. At long last, a chance to end the shortages. Pick up the pace.
I must warn you, the provinces adrift are not awash with the luxuries of the old kingdom. The pain of severance has been constant, but our economy has also suffered. The shortages of essential goods have cut deeply. Reconnection with the network may alleviate some of these issues, at least.
Mila T, you bring us guests, outsiders, with a fleet no less. What have you been up to?
More than that, Royal Steward, I bring momentous news. The fleet, this Paranid-led fleet, it came from the dormant gate in Watchful gaze. They have communicated with Kingdom End. They have no Kingdom End gate, but they have communication. We are connected to the network once more.
My word,
The delegation seeks an audience. May I?
Yes, of course. There is so much to discuss, so much to consider.
Royal Steward, would it be in order for me to accompany the delegation?
I am sure you have other things to do. Diplomacy is not the same thrill as exploration.
Please, Royal Steward, with your permission.
Of course, Neela T. By all means, accompany the delegation.
Please halt. We will be scanning your inventory.
Explorer, you have displayed some usefulness thus far. I'm tasking
contraband.
Great.
We detected contraband.
What did you find? The unstable crystals we can drop. Okay, you know what? I don't like it, but let's just drop everything. I don't want to risk this now. Right.
All things considered, that was a good decision on your part.
Right. So, let's dock. We need to dock here, right? Yes, we do. Okay. Can I dock on this side? Fine. I will dock on the other side.
A Boron capital ship. In all my days. A perfect equilibrium of function and ergonomics. And with such flair. My current abode is penurious in comparison.
My ropalium near explodes with the joy of welcoming esteemed visitors. This historic occasion is the first of its kind. I am Leda V, Royal Steward of the Provinces Adrift. On behalf of Her Majesty the Queen, and as her loyal servant, it is my profound pleasure to welcome an emissary of the Perenid Empire. And once business is out of the way, I insist you join me on a more informal tour.
Esteemed Royal Steward Leda Wee, thank you for your most gracious welcome. You must forgive me. I, Numunkaret, am no Empire emissary. I represent the Alliance of the Word, a diplomatic forum and scientific organization funded by various races across the network.
My. But do you have letters patent from the Empire? The provinces adrift are in dire straits. We must negotiate terms of assistance.
I am compelled to reiterate, I do not speak for the Perenid authorities. Though we do bring news which may bring joy. We have been in communication with Kingdom End. Limited fragile communication, but communication nevertheless. Some months ago we received word from your homeworld. It was heartening to discover that the Boron core has survived the shutdown, and learn of their most ambitious endeavor. Their entire scientific resources are focused on understanding and manipulating jump gate technology. We humbly request your permission to investigate the dormant jump gates in your territory, and to set up a scientific outpost in the region, should that be required.
There are so many implications to consider. This really is momentous. I am afraid I must decline your request, for now. We cannot be precipitous.
By the glistening waters of Nishala!
I fail to understand. We ask for no more than your permission. We certainly have no wish to be a drain on your resources.
Leda Wee, they are trying to connect us with Kingdom End. They have communications.
Leela T, this obsession with finding home is entirely yours. You may have the luxury of gallivanting around the galaxy in search of miracles, but I have responsibilities. I have the welfare of billions of souls to consider. Our guests have already made clear that the outside network, with all its resources, has been unable to connect with our homeworld. The priority at this juncture is the welfare of our people, and I shall not be distracted from that.
Honored host, we will of course expedite communications with the governments of the network. I'm sure emissaries are preparing as we speak. Yet, if we could simply...
Enough, please. I understand your request, but I do not think you understand what is at stake. Please have patience, but for now, the matter is settled.
Outrageous! The Boron Queen's government itself is racing to reconnect, and you decline to facilitate? What kind of royal steward are you?
Please.
There is nothing to be gained from trading insults.
This is absurd. Our work is of the utmost importance. Your obduracy is beyond me. I shall take my leave. Heading to the dock, awaiting pickup.
That certainly could have gone better, but all may not be lost.
Right, now we need to do a little bit of diplomacy.
Ah, the silent one from our disappointing introduction. Your expedition commander hardly seemed in the mood for positive solutions. I cannot imagine that you presume to speak for him.
Assistant, perhaps uncovering more context first may help with your solutioneering.
From time to time, I spend the waking nights pondering the very same question. It would be misleading to cast blame for all our miseries on the Great Shutdown. In fact, when we were first riven from the wider network, the vast majority of our Boron systems remained connected between themselves. Isolated from external threats, we commenced a new age of reflection and scientific endeavor. And while this period of peace brought the wealth of Kingdom N to fabulous new heights, we were not complacent. Resources were stockpiled throughout the Queendom, a precautionary measure. Oh, we thought we were prepared, yet in truth we were far from it. We Boron are inherently connected to each other, you see. We thrive on a collective sort of innate affinity. Once that connection was severed, each system found itself in complete isolation. Things fell apart quite quickly, I'm afraid to say. Productivity collapsed catastrophically. Stockpiles were depleted far more rapidly than anticipated, and there was no way to replenish them. After years of disarray, Great Reef finally reconnected with barren shores. Later, it was joined by several other systems. The provinces adrift were founded, but by then the damage was done. We still lacked crucial resources. I contend that it was the collective psychological toll of the severance that caused this, more so than the evident logistical challenges posed by the shutdown. I regret my approach at our meeting. You see, I have not hosted a diplomatic function in decades. Unfortunately, I am simply not in the habit of communicating with anyone other than Boron, you see. We Boron converse amongst ourselves, relying on complex structures of pheromones, not just mere words. There was so much to communicate, so much to cogitate upon, yet the words failed to convey my meaning. You must imagine it like painting an ocean, yet having only a single shade of blue with which to do so. You are correct, of course. There is no harm in reaching for common ground. I am embarrassed to say that our defensive capabilities are woefully inadequate. Ashamedly so. Our economy is so fractured. We struggle to construct anything larger, perhaps, than a frigate. We cannot even resource and operate a full-scale shipyard. For half a century of isolation, we Boron have had little need for a comprehensive military. I fear that we are wholly unprepared for the myriad dangers lurking beyond the gate. And should word spread of the valuable equipment and facilities proposed by the Alliance of the Word, it might be akin to painting a target upon ourselves for any nefarious actors in the vicinity. One moment. I have, even now, received word of split incursions. If we had anything of value to loot, we would not be discussing skirmishes. They would descend upon us in hordes.
The Protectorate has determined that this system poses no threat to the citizens of Sol or the wider network. Our orders are to deploy to a position of more strategic importance. Still, stay alert. None of us know what might be lurking out there.
The Alliance of the Ward thanks you for your support. You shall proceed alone from here on. Our military friends are needed elsewhere.
The Steward and I have had our differences in the past, but I had no idea he would be so stubborn. I am so very sorry you had to witness that embarrassingly discordant display. Leader We and I disagree on much, but he is not a bad person. You know, he is just scared. I think he is scared of falling short. He carries the weight of the expectations of the entire provinces. He wants to keep everyone safe, and I think he fears that your expedition will exacerbate an already dangerous situation. Oh! You took note of that, did you? Time after time I approach Leader Weave for the resources to find our way back home, but he has come to the conclusion that efforts spent on this endeavor come at an immediate cost to our people. I would hate for you to get the impression that I do not care for my fellow Boron here. Out on the fringes, I am truly seeking to make a difference for the people. Serving the Queen's subjects is a duty for me. You see, I do not like to draw too much attention to it, but I myself am the progeny of stranded minor royals. Before you bow or anything like that, I am not part of the direct line of succession, and that is not how our monarchy works in any case. Yet, it drives me to find a path back home, for the people to once again delight in a reunited, merry realm. Yes, fraught with danger, the provinces lie uncomfortably close to Kark territory. When Sanctuary of Darkness first connected to the provinces, it triggered regular attacks. We barely managed to protect ourselves with the meager military that we could cobble together. Thankfully, the waves have calmed for now. The Kark incursions eventually ceased. All attempts to communicate with these enigmatic creatures have failed, so I would hesitate to call it a ceasefire. It is more of a lull in hostilities. As you can imagine, the situation remains rather fragile. Pleasant travels.
Okay, so let's talk to Nomenclaret next.
Who does this fool think he is? Does he not understand the gravity of our mission? Withholding his consent? We shall continue without it if necessary. Why do you think I remain on this fool's dock? And who are you to tell me to calm myself? I appreciate your contributions to our mission, but do not forget that I remain your superior. I must clear my head of the fool's petulance before I return to my post. Yes, you are right. That much is obvious. I cannot help but wonder if there is more to the issue than that. Perhaps he is overly attached to his role as Prime Administrator of the provinces. A reunion with Kingdom End would inevitably result in him having to relinquish power and standing. Well, we are a scientific expedition, so our offensive options are rather limited in that regard. What we can do, however, is make assurances that any valuable equipment that is transported into Boron space will be well guarded, making it an unappealing target. Furthermore, I am prepared to place several scouts at his disposal, and to establish a network of satellites in watchful gaze. That will give the split cause to reconsider an incursion into the provinces. The situation with this steward does indeed seem resolvable, though I fear he wears my patience thin. Take this matter in hand. Go and see the fool. Perhaps you can change his mind. Ah, I understand. He is worried that our presence will stir up an infestation of the Chitterers. The Alliance of the Word is certainly prepared to provide assurances that our investigation will not leave him exposed to Ka'ak attacks.
Okay, let's go and talk to the captain once again, or the steward.
Ah, the silent one from our disappointing introduction. Your commendable commitment to peace is as welcome as it is unexpected. The Alliance of the Word is to be lauded for its respect for our peaceful ways. Well, this is an unexpectedly kind offer from the Alliance of the Word. I must admit that security assistance in these uncertain times would indeed be a welcome reassurance. I must say how thoroughly reassured I am. And again, please accept my most profound apologies for our earlier miscommunication. Clearly, our values are in auspicious alignment. I am confident that you will ensure no harm befalls my charges. Please, do proceed with my blessing and my people's support for the success of your historic mission. With the gate in Watchful Gaze reactivated, to our knowledge only 3 more dormant gates remain in province space. One is located in Ocean of Fantasy, another in Barren Shores. The final one was discovered by scouts in Sanctuary of Darkness. If Sanctuary of Darkness sounds foreboding, you may find that the name is fitting. It is host to a significant Ka'ak infestation. Urgh. Even uttering the name makes my fins tingle. Yet I must remain firm on the matter. Do not, under any circumstances, engage with the Ka'ak. Every interaction with them results in horrific conflict.
You have our word, Leader Wee. We shall do everything in our power to avoid undue provocation.
Thank you. And may I bestow upon you a gift? We have prepared for you a fighter ship. A humble gift, but hopefully it will be of use to you in the times ahead.
We are most grateful. You have been an exemplary host. Explorer, you have done well to secure access for us to continue our mission. Please, claim the scout ship as your own. May it serve you well.
Nice, we have a new ship. Okay then, yeah, apparently he left. So, what kind of, well, stuff do we have on this ship? Find inactive jump gate.
We need to investigate the dormant gates to formulate the next step of our expedition.
I am already familiar with the gate in Ocean of Fantasy. If you supply me with the necessary equipment, and provide me with a few pointers as to what exactly I am to do, it would be my deepest pleasure to assist.
Excellent. The Alliance shall investigate Barren Shores. That only leaves the matter of the final gate, the location of which is somewhat more precarious. Explorer, you have excelled thus far. Put that new fighter of yours to good use, and find Sanctuary of Darkness. It seems that you are best suited to this task.
All the times I dreamt of being reunited with my fellow Boron. It never crossed my mind that they might be in such impoverished circumstances. I know that the Alliance has received communications from Kingdom End, but those were dispatched decades ago. Hopefully, they have fared better than the Boron here. I am curious about the contents of their message. Just how much of their preliminary findings have they shared with their Alliance counterparts? Once we have gained access to both gates' data, maybe the Alliance really intends to conduct experiments from our side too. Trying to manipulate gates would be an incredibly involved undertaking. Yet it seems as though Numankaret is single-minded about the whole endeavor. Can you imagine the possibilities that would be open to us if we could manipulate these gates at will?
Okay then, so let's go ahead and find that jump gate.
Thanks to the newly opened trade routes, we have commenced rebuilding our shipyard. You are, of course, most welcome to aid us in our undertaking. Your efforts will, of course, be lucratively compensated.
Right, I don't really have that kind of production capacity right now, so sorry, I cannot help you. Anyways, what kind of weaponry do we have on this ship? Well, a fast shooting and a slower shooting weapon. Anyways, so we need to find a jump gate that leads to the whatever of darkness. So let me just take a look. There is a jump gate right in front of us, might as well take a look there. So anyways, I think I made a small mistake in constructing this station. I didn't set up the order of construction quite correctly, and now we are stuck trying to build one of these solid storages, and until it is up and running, we cannot really boot up production once again. So let me just take a look. Yeah, we are stuck at 40%. I did give it some extra money, so hopefully I think this is going to be enough to build at least one storage, and after that we should be back up and running. Anyways.
At my designated inactive gate. I shall commence taking readings immediately.
Thank you. So we need to find the Sanctuary of Darkness jump gate. Let's see if this is it.
Unknown object.
No, it is not. Might as well fly through. Yeah, this isn't it.
System. Ocean of fantasy.
So, let's just turn around. Ooh, that's a bright planet. So, anyways, I will fly back and let's try our luck at some other gate. Yeah, I really should have been a little bit more attentive when I was rearranging the station. Oh well, cannot be helped now. So, this was not the correct station. There is another gate right there. Is that the one going to the place where we came from? Yes, it is. Okay. Well, let's keep looking. So this is the gate that we have just went through. Okay, so where is the gate then? Let me make a quick scan. Station. That's a station as well. Maybe, no, it has to be here because when we entered Ocean of Fantasy, we were directed to back to this place. So it has to be around here somewhere. Let's see if we can find something in this direction. It is not in Barren Shores either, because we know the location of this space and we are not being directed there, so it has to be from the Great Reef. Okay, so let's make a sensor sweep here. No, that was not successful. So this one... yeah, that one is the Barren Shores jump gate. Oh, wait. There's another one. Yeah, that might be it. Anyways, how far are these deliveries, by the way? Plan build. And here we have 2 deliveries coming in. 1 minute, 1 minute, and 9 minutes for the whole parts. And the whole parts are the one we need the most. I am tempted to reset this one because it's very far away, but you know what? We already have it incoming, so let's not tempt fate. So anyways, let's take a look at this jump gate next. There we go. This is it.
Entering system. Sanctuary of Darkness.
Sanctuary of Darkness. According to our archives, there was once a Xenon presence hereabouts in the network. I wonder what befell them.
Oh, is that so? Then we were quite lucky that our systems were not connected directly to a Xenon stronghold. There is no way we would have survived, given the state of our military.
Now, see if you can locate the inactive gate in this system.
Be careful. Take great care when navigating. We must honor our word and avoid the Kurg. You will also need to be cautious of the region's other hazards. I recommend that you stick close to the asteroids. They seem to be an exceptional indicator of where your ship will not be harmed.
Right, as they have said, we need to stick close to the mineral deposits. Theoretically, that is a relatively safe space. Also, we are being targeted. Okay, I will try not to get too bogged down in fighting. Also, I did see a crystal glimmering right above our head, but obviously we are not in the position to do anything about that right now. So anyways, we need to fly through this mineral-rich space. Wow, that's hard to see. And I do believe we need to take a left turn around here. Don't drift out of the mineral stream. Yeah, there we go. So we need to go through this way, okay? So more along these lines. So we should have a small strip of relatively safe space through here. Oh, no, 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 no. Don't.
Awaiting orders.
Discover. Oh, right. That's fine. You can stay on the ship for now. I suppose I could send her home, but you know what? It's fine. It's better to have them nearby, so in case we need them, they should be right at hand. So anyways, it should be relatively safe to fly through here. Oh, it's hard to see. I didn't remember this place being this murky. And I do vaguely see some spires there. Okay, turn, turn, turn. And there's the jump gate.
Hull damaged.
There it is. Approach the jump gate nacelle. Try to get a reading.
Okay, let's hope it's safe. We did just get a little bit of hull damage. So let's go ahead and hook up to it.
Scan mode now. Each jump gate has 2 pairs of nacelles. They act as caches for storing operational data, among many other things. We're still not very familiar with this technology, or who created it, but thanks to recent scientific advancements, we are able to make sense of some of the information that we are retrieving. It seems apparent that some of the data likely represents the coordinates of other jump gates. Whether this means that these gates were connected in the distant past is mere conjecture. Perhaps the builders had reasons unknown to us for certain gates to hold, special compatibility. The vast majority of the data in these caches remains a vexing mystery to us all.
Okay, I am tempted to jump out of the ship and repair it. But you know what? I think we should be okay at this point. So yeah, I accidentally drifted a little bit too far to the north.
We have gathered everything we can access from this nacelle. Move on to the one on the opposite side. Yes, some of this data looks rather promising. I'm forwarding all of this to our science team as we speak.
Okay, that was only 3 scout ships, so not a lot, but well.
Fought bravely, Explorer.
Yes. Your display of skill was altogether impressive. I just hope this commotion does not result in a more severe and unwelcome reaction.
Container.
Our science team has pored over the data that Neela was able to live from cache. While we have not yet completed our examination of the Sanctuary of Darkness cache, it is quite obviously the most promising of the gates. Despite the additional challenges the Ka'ak will represent.
More dangerous, perhaps. But I'm afraid that things are not going well in Ocean of Fantasy either. The system's planet is devastated and completely uninhabitable.
Perhaps, once the provinces have re-established their economy, they can attempt some terraforming. For now, this expedition needs you to map out safe passage for a larger fleet to navigate through Sanctuary of Darkness. You can use nav beacons to determine an appropriate route. Just stay clear of the Ka'ak installations. And other hazardous regions, obviously. For a better overview of the task in hand, do not hesitate to consult your map.
Right, so now we need to set up a small, well, way through the system. So we need to deploy a nav beacon right here. But that's only one. Next we need to deploy one, well, basically along the safe path. That should be okay, so let's go ahead and do so. And I suppose we will need to say goodbye after this one because we are a little bit over time at this point. So we can stop, well, I suppose there. Somewhere along these lines. So theoretically, if I drop one here, right, yeah, next here.
You know, for the longest time, the community of planets thought the Ka'ak had been eradicated by their joint efforts. Recent attacks on solitary miners, and now this, prove this notion was overly optimistic.
Okay, we are once again being pursued by the bugs. Let's just make sure we don't get too bogged down. Let's keep deploying nav beacons and we should be okay. Ow. There, and maybe one more.
Yes, it looks like you have found a route. Nicely done, Explorer. Everyone, move in. The expedition shall now establish a scientific outpost. This may be the beginning of a most fruitful phase in our journey together.
And I think I will say goodbye now. Basically, yeah, we are over time now. It has been a very story-heavy episode, and I suspect the next one will be maybe similar, but who knows, maybe half an episode. So anyways, all that is left to say is that thank you for watching. If you like the video, you can leave a like, leave a comment, and maybe subscribe to the channel if you want. If you would like to support me a little bit more, you can do so by clicking the join button and becoming a channel member, which will give you an early and ad-free access to these videos. Once again, thank you for watching and thank you very much for your support. I will see you in the next one. Thank you and goodbye.